pattern here.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what
I'm
he's
sorry.
gonna
I'm
do.
trying.
That's close enough.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, that's
Fuck it, Joe won't do it anyway. So
yeah, Joe doesn't want to play with us. He's not even our friend anymore.
That is true.
Just hang up on him, will you?
Yeah, let's
I'm
just
still
chain her and daytime him. Hello, everyone. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is Mr. Andy Fuco.
That's me.
And you're listening to the Chain Rant Podcast. This is an explicit show, as you've already heard by now. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to tune into something else. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck. Listeners can review the show on iTunes. You can send us emails and voicemails to be played on air. You can like us on Facebook, where many of you are watching right now during this free stream. Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Check out the Chanarant store at chanarant.com. You can get the new Eternal Youth tee, which
Joe Brady has. He
got one?
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. And you can check out, you can become a patron at patreon.com/Chanarant to support the show for $5 a month. Last but not least, invite and share with your friends. Odd open, baby.
Dude, it's like every week is not open. I don't understand this.
No, it's every other week.
All right. You know what really...
Talking to your microphone.
Relax. You know what really sticks a microphone in my face?
What's that, man?
When shit, I need a good one. When the only good guest we can ever get that shows up on time is Joe Brady, and goddamn, we've overused this prop.
We've used this
Joe
bit
Brady's
too
our
often.
prop.
I'm a prop now. All right.
You know we love you, Joe.
I know. I'm like a hand puppet, right?
Whenever I see you in person, I use you as a prop, but that's a different story. Why is it so echoey in here today?
I know, it's weird. Right. Yeah, I'm not getting as much from your mic.
It's weirdly echoey, though. You hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your gain's pretty high up.
Maybe that's it. But either way, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, it won't.
I'll
It won't
just
be
move
fine.
this over here.
Yeah, and just close the gap, Get right up on that.
That's what I've been doing lately, getting right up on that.
Get right up on that, yeah.
What else I got to do?
So, Fusco, how goes your hunt for corn tang?
Hey, you stole my joke, man. It's been,
It's called a serve up. Now you go.
Well, I've been trying to maintain my 6-inch distance. Unfortunately, my penis is the perfect measuring tool for that.
But it's not 6 inches. You know that, right?
I thought it was 6 inches. We're supposed to stay 6 inches.
Well, no. It's supposed to be 6 feet. No, it's not 6 inches in two ways. It's not 6 inches because your dick's not that long, and it's also not 6 inches. You're supposed to be 6 feet away from someone.
Oh my God! Well, somebody drew me a diagram. Hold on.
You're working. Yeah. So you got a diagram from
this bitch.
You got a diagram from a health professional.
Yeah. No, I made that mistake. I guess.
Oh,
but,
see, this is why we cannot have nice things.
Yeah, it's been quite dry out there because there's nowhere to go and nothing to do and no liquor to convince the ladies like Joe Brady to.
Your liquor stores are closed? That's an essential business.
Our liquor, actually, Lee's was closed. I drove by it the other day, but I can still buy liquor at a grocery store, though, which I did yesterday.
Yeah, it's a little tough. It's a little tough out there right now, kids.
It's a little slow.
It's both an amazing time and a horrible time to be an alcoholic.
I've been experimenting with many things, like Pringle cans with a sponge in it.
Yeah, and the old Prison Sally.
Prison Sally, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fun. It actually,
Is it?
I mean, you got to get a big sponge to like.
I don't think that's helping all the people who are, desperately short on latex gloves right now.
Well, if you have a friend that's a fireman, you can get all you want.
Just don't start fucking face masks, all right? And then the world will be okay.
I'm gonna get a face mask printed with Joe Brady's face, and then fucking face mask.
Now's the point of our show where Joe regrets coming on. Speaking of which, Fusco, would you introduce our illustrious guest?
Coming back for like the 17th time now is the world famous #FU Joe Brady, all the way from North Carolina, where he's staying indoors with his lovely wife and staying basically out of trouble, right, Joe?
I am staying out of trouble, unlike you two boys.
Hey, man, we wouldn't be Chanarant if we followed the rules.
I think this is only my third time on the show. I mean, you may reference me every time in the show.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. We're just
we're
sick
fans.
of thinking about you.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, we love you. We're just kidding. But.
Yeah. So Joe, how's it going?
Do you really love me, Andy? Do you really love me, Andy?
I gotta say it.
I'm sorry, Josh. Would you ask the question, Josh? How's it going?
Yeah, how's it going over in Raleigh? How's Wake doing with this latest crisis of conscience?
So it's strange. We had to shut down practices just before St. Patrick's Day, like everybody else, and slowly getting people back together, whether it's online or just on the phone, talking and sending out music and doing that. It's just an interesting time to figure out how to organize and practice. Mm-hmm. You can't really practice, right?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the.
If you're from the band that shall not be named, you trained.
You didn't practice anyway.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
So I want to talk more about kind of how bands are essentially trying not to lose progress while they can't meet, and it's very social activity. It's very hard to do over the internet. But before we get into that topic, we do want to get through some of our news and updates this week, because we haven't really done news and updates in a while.
Yeah, we've kind of been breaking from the form for a little while. So we got, of course, we have one. This one's anonymous, but it's about the legend that is the boo-boo.
The honey boo?
A boo-boo.
Honey boobs.
So this guy says, this drunk Australian cunt just video called me out of nowhere, trying to recruit me to play with an Aussie band next year. Counter offer, MFer. Come play in a grade 4 band and see if you can't help elevate us to the prize list in a contest with more than 3 bands. Plenty of horny college chicks in my town that would dig your accent and your ginger beard.
So there's a couple of things to unpack there, because one, I believe Honey Boo Boo's got himself a girlfriend.
Although I haven't seen pictures of them together in the last. Well, I guess maybe they can't. I suppose.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. He did have a girlfriend. Yes.
He did. He had a girlfriend. So
she's way too attractive for him.
So the grade 4 chicks in Colorado will have to wait. I'm supposed,
Well, I'm
sure. Look on the bright side. If you're playing in a grade 4 band now, in 4 years when he's single again, you'll still be playing in a grade 4 band. He can come by.
There's no way he's going to last 4 years. By the time we're back to working to normal, by the time this is over, he'll be single. I'm sure of it.
Well, thank you for writing in. All right, our next one comes from our good friend Dan the Man. Dan says, "What's up, you fucks?" So let me start out by saying that this is an explicit email. Fuck. I'm so sick of this coronavirus bullshit. What I thought was going to be at least one promising St. Patrick's Day nursing home gig ended up as a goose egg for me due to a last-minute coronavirus cancellation. So I sat on my butt, as most of us did on St. Patty's, and live-streamed the Dropkick Murphys concert. Our band practices have been moved to a virtual platform, and I'm going fucking stir-crazy. I may be a bagpiper by night, but by day, I'm a registered nurse. I can't get away from the curse of the COVID. If this shit gets any worse, I may have to shave my beard so I can wear a respirator. # stay the fucking home. Fortunately, listening to the stories of other pipers, hearing some kick-ass music, and being regaled about Fusco's adventures and whizzing and jizzing have given me some levity in these dark times, and I thank you for it. End rant. I actually did have a point to all this. I hated to hear about the Vegas games, and I wanted to possibly shed some insight. I've been getting a lot of emails from our association out here that they are authorizing virtual competitions for soloists to record a video of them playing, put it on YouTube, and submit it for judging. Maybe you guys could do something like this to at least save some face with the Vegas games? ? Hope all is well. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Stay the fuck at home. And make sure to establish a good safe word for when things get out of hand with a shower curtain, rod, and a belt. Seriously, don't do anything that you don't want the paramedics to find you doing. Stay safe, motherfuckers. Dan the Man. Cheers, Dan.
That's okay. We've got a friend in Bill who we can always call to take us off the loop
and delete our search history.
He'll come through quick, delete all that shit off our computer, take us off the belt, and then let the paramedics in.
I think Fireman Bill will be helpful in that regard.
That reminds me, Joe. What did he just say that makes me think of Joe?
Fireman.
Oh, I know. Okay, I got it. He says record yourselves and stuff. I haven't heard of any. I've heard of a whole bunch of solo contests, but I haven't heard of anybody doing a band contest.
Well, we can't really get together.
Yeah, I mean, that's over your limit of gathering people.
Well, not in our band.
Yeah, maybe not.
Can we just have a quartet contest or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Anything? Jesus. Anyway, I guess that makes sense, Joe. You're always smarter than me. Damn it. So anyway, we got next guy in, Ian, who I met at Winter Storm.
Okay.
Who was wearing a Team Andy shirt, fortunately. What do we got going on here? Something going wrong? So he says, "Hey, fuck knuckles, just listen to your pipe band Blue Balls episode, or at least the first part of it as I'm writing, and I'll take your blue balls and raise you some pipe band edging. I've been out of the game for 5 to 6 years. When due at least in part to you two and Rab giving me some serious pipe band FOMO. That's your phone or something.
My phone just like asked a weird question. Yeah, everything's going nuts. The computers are revolting.
What the hell is going on?
What was the question?
I don't know.
I've been out of the game for 5-6 years.
All right. So been out of the game 5-6 years, and you guys gave me FOMO essentially. He decided to get back into it. I lost my winter storm virginity and met a reasonably sober Andy while I was unspeakably hungover. I got out with my new band for the first time in a long time, which felt awesome. I even met #1of the6 in the wild thanks to the magic of t-shirts. His, not mine. That's Tim from CR Live fame, if anyone cares. I was stoked and all the way back in. Even bought my flight to Scotland. Then this. Dun, dun, dun. I was out. I didn't care. I was carrying on with my life. And now the crushing disappointment of possibly the first of the most... what does he say?
The most first world.
The most first world of first world problems. Oh, I see. So yeah, thanks for the first part, but also fuck you for the surprise ending. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Cheers, Ian.
Yeah, this year sucks.
Yeah, and it just was announced today that the fucking world was canceled.
Which, strangely enough, brings us up to some of our updated cancellations. So before the show started, Joe, you were telling us about St. Patty's and the cancellations you guys faced and kind of the financial hit you took in Raleigh.
Yeah, I think every band took a hit all around the world. And not every band, but all the players that go on and do gigs solo, too. So we took a hit, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
You want to tell us exactly how much you lost?
We took a hit about $10K. I mean, and that may be a lot for some bands, but not a lot for others. But
Jesus
relative
Christ.
to us, that's a good portion of our budget.
Damn. You guys make some good money in those parades.
Yeah,
out
what
there.
what percentage of our budget
Well,
do you think
it
is
ain't
St.
Vegas
Patty's?
money, but, you know.
Well, it's probably more.
Probably more, yeah.
You got to keep in mind, everybody lowballs here.
Yeah, they're way more savvy as far as paying musicians for shit. Yeah, it has to be a good 70% of our overall operating budget, but we probably lost about, I'd say, $4,500 maybe.
Yeah, because we
did a couple.
We did a couple gigs, and then we were just like pulling tips. Like, I mean, we went out and just kind of went for it.
Yeah.
Much to the dismay of people who were recommending we do otherwise.
Like, fuck it, we're chanting this
Yeah,
bitch.
it's like, well, it's just it turned into one of those things where it's like, all right, we got to get out there and do the best. Like, put our lives on the line, man.
Do it for the band.
Do it for the band.
Because otherwise, we're fucked. We're going under.
Yeah, maybe sick for 6 months after this, but you know, at least you'll get new drum heads, you ungrateful fucks.
I had COVID back in November anyway. I'm fine. I'll be fine.
So
I hate it for a lot of our band members. It was going to be their first time out on parade.
Oh, yeah,
They got their uniforms. They were going to be marching for the first time. Excited about that, and that's an opportunity that just fell out from underneath them.
Yeah, that's a good question because we talked about this recently. But you know, all those people that lost that, like that was their carrot, right? So how are you keeping them motivated with nothing to do? Because that's ultimately it's either. And why else do people do this? A chance to perform in public, right?
Yeah. Well, then you start targeting next dates, whether it's the 4th of July or whatever the next event is.
Halloween.
There isn't any.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, you got to put a carrot out in front. And I'm not saying that we do something for Memorial Day weekend, but we got to start thinking out.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess for us it'd probably be the concert would be the next natural thing.
I mean, if assuming like who knows, I don't know, but there's still contests in September, October, potentially December.
Well, right, and you saw what Dunedin. Those are your words, Andy. I mean, Dunedin's planning it out to be the last game in November, the last weekend of November. So that'd be awesome. So we're looking forward if we can go and do that.
That's not when they normally are, right? That was delayed or something?
No, normally it would have been this weekend.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay. Well, that's good that they rescheduled because a lot of people are just outright canceling.
Yeah. Well, although I will say this, like I think that I'm interested to see how some of these postponed events go because pretty much every event that postpones is going to be aiming for the same 3 months before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of curious as to how that sheds out. Like, because we got asked that with Vegas. Like, are you guys just going to postpone it, do it later in the year? And it's like, everyone's going to be doing that. Every single event in the entire town is going to be postponed until fall.
Yeah, I know.
So
with,
do we spread
out here on the East Coast that they have agreements in place that they can only have so many games each weekend. So they're going to have to balance that out. And so far, it doesn't look like there's going to be any overlap.
You mean the association has to actually make a decision and figure out something for the best benefit of all its members?
Yes.
I don't foresee that happening, Joe.
Well, and like the thing for
They're
us,
gonna be like, everyone for themselves. Do what you must.
well, and the thing that for us that comes into play is I'm not just looking out for overlapping with other like competition event like Highland Games and bagpipe competitions. I have to look for overlap with any other event that's even in the area, because the vast majority of our revenue comes from attendees that come in to watch everything. So if they're going to go to the county fair instead, if they're going to go to fucking Tacos and Tamales or San Gennaro or any other event that's happening at the same time, like I get screwed.
I would rather go to the Indian festival.
So would
Food
I,
Festival.
man.
Oh my
And
God.
that got canceled too, which I'm really bummed because I was going to go to that.
Fuck. That's the best.
Love
thing
me
in
some
town.
Indian
Oh
food.
my God, yeah.
So yeah, speaking of cancellations, a lot of news has come out. Obviously, the Scottish Championships, which were slated for, I believe, this weekend.
Yeah, I don't have any.
So Scottish Championships were canceled. The word came out today that the Pipe Band World Championships and also the Piping Live Festival have been canceled.
And the tattoo. Yeah, the Edinburgh tattoo.
Yeah, the Edinburgh tattoo is canceled. Dunedin is delayed. Hopefully to a successful fall event.
Your tattoo was canceled, Joe. Your first foray into the Spirit of 76 pipe band.
The Virginia International Tattoo was canceled about 3 weeks ago, so that was kind of gutting news for everybody.
Yeah, let me tell you, Angel won't shut up about it. Like,
I hate it for him. I mean, that opportunity that was lost, all the work that was put in with people practicing and the investment with uniforms and equipment. We're going to reuse it. Our plan is to go back in 2021 as the band. That'll be the tattoo's 25th anniversary.
I might be able to go to that one. Can I be on that list?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the list is full. So unless something bad happens to Angel, because you'd probably fit in his uniform.
Well, let me break the news to you.
Just make him demonstrate that he knows all the music first,
and
then save a flight.
Let me break the news to you. Angel wasn't practicing. Don't feel too bad about Angel.
Angel was practicing. You're awful. You know that?
Oh, come on. We got to give Angel
We got to
shit.
give him shit. He's in the chat somewhere.
I know he's out there.
He's also very much enjoying his quarantine with his lovely wife in Palm Springs, like just hanging out and pooling it up.
I talked to him today. He was with the kids.
He's got the kids too?
Oh, yeah. Everybody with the kids is not enjoying their life, I don't think so much.
Well, you know what my solution for that is? Condoms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, always.
Just be like Joe. Don't have any kids.
Be like Joe.
There you
Joe
go. Have cats. That's right.
Be like Joe. Shoot blanks.
Wow.
So yeah, VTAT unfortunately was canceled. Pleasanton and Maxville, I would say, are question marks. What do you guys think? Do you think that it would be financially responsible for any of these events to kind of keep holding out, or is it kind of fucked either way?
I would say Maxville's going down for sure. Pleasanton, I think it's too early to make that decision.
I think it's too early. We can't speak to it because there's other things that impact why they make the decision. And Jim Sim making the decision to cancel Chicago based on St. Andrews and their relationship with them. I mean, that was spelled out. It's clear. So I don't know what kind of relationships Maxville, Glengarry Games, or the Montreal Games have with the venue, with organizers. So they need to do what's best for them, and whatever decision that is.
Do you think that there's like an added benefit to people who travel to these events to know sooner rather than later?
I know for my band, it makes a difference because like the bus company that we rented to go to Canada this summer wants a decision, and same with the hotels. They want to know if we're going to keep the hotel rooms. So I mean, for us, yeah, it's a big decision for us. I imagine it would be for other bands from the United States going up there. For the Canadian bands, maybe not as much, but still, I mean, logistically, you got to plan your hotels out, and do you put deposits down, and when can you get them back? Those kinds of money things.
Yeah.
And then preparation too, because I mean, we don't want to go into it where we're not together up until 4 weeks before the event, that we can't get together and rehearse.
You might not be able to rehearse enough to actually make it worth the trip as far as the performance is concerned.
Well, but then everybody's in the same boat, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, yes, it's not your best foot forward for that year, but it's still relatively the same to everybody else, right? Theoretically.
I suppose. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what other bands are doing. I mean, you see what's going on social media, what some bands are trying to do, and we even get pinged. How are you guys doing online band rehearsals? We're not. You can't really do a functioning online band rehearsal.
Well, that's our
You
topic
can
of the
have-
week. Fuck, we just fucked
Yeah,
it.
we charged it.
I'm sorry. Fuck.
So essentially,
So wait, real quick before we get into that. So like for example, for Pleasanton, which might be the last West Coast games at this point, because Utah's canceled.
When is Pleasanton?
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day. Yep.
Yeah. So it's
So early to tell, but it's also the biggest games in the West Coast. But there's games after that. They're just small.
Yeah, they're
There's
smaller.
one
I mean, like
Reno,
Rio
there's-
got canceled, Costa Mesa, San Diego both canceled, Utah's canceled. So I think the next thing would be
Well, the ones
Pleasanton.
no. There's ones in July that have not canceled yet. So
Interesting.
Flagstaff. There's one in northern or middle of Utah.
It's gonna be the best year for fucking Flagstaff in the history of time because everything else is canceled.
Everything's
I'm
closed.
still not gonna go.
No, I'm not going. But there's Reno in September. There's that one out by what's that town out by Flagstaff? That's in September as well.
Prescott.
Prescott. Yeah, that's out. What
Yeah,
else?
well, and the back half of our season over on the East Coast looks good still. Loch Norman scheduled to August 15th, and then you have the Charleston games. Before that, you have Stone Mountain hasn't canceled, and then Dunedin is queued up to take place in November.
This might be the year to go to Stone Mountain. It's going to be the greatest games of all time. it usually is pretty good, but this could be the greatest year ever. But I put down this. Whatever the first games is that happens in any particular territory, say the West Coast, East Coast, whatever, when this is over, is going to be the greatest games of all time. Everybody's
You
going
think
to
so?
go. It's going to be the greatest beer tent ever. There's
Well,
gonna
beer tent, yeah,
There's
but
going to be
playing
orgies everywhere.
Yeah, see, I would say I would bet the opposite. I would say that it's gonna hurt that everyone's gonna be chomping at the bit, but like if you're 2 weeks after everyone says okay, all clear, you're still gonna be fucked, man. Like you'd have to be like 6 months after everyone says all clear for people to calm the fuck down, get some money together to travel. Like
I don't think so. I think our people are nuts, and they're going to be like, fucking road trip, drinking their asses
yeah,
off.
but they also haven't been working for fucking
Yeah.
Well, that's
8
true.
weeks,
Out of
you know.
work and-
That's a ability to afford it. That's a good point. I didn't
Yeah,
think of that.
that's very
I'm still
real. And we're gonna start seeing that cascade of effect taking place in the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why we made the decision to just say, nah, see you in 21, man. Like that's
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we would do.
because a lot of
as
these
band.
a lot of these events are just too expensive to not have a lot of people show up. It's very tight margins.
Yep.
So
This is sobering.
I have an interesting question.
Yes.
With the fact that so far almost every single event, probably, at least on the West Coast, aside from maybe 2 or 3 for the calendar year has been canceled, do you guys think that there should be any kind of refund of fees? It's an incredibly marginally small amount of money for individuals, but for like
You mean for
bands
the-
and stuff,
You mean for the association?
for the association fees. Do you think that would make sense, or has the association, by placing the responsibility of canceling the events on the event organizers instead of on themselves, kind of gotten out of having to be in a situation where they should do that? Because we're looking at a year's worth of fees and no events.
Oh, I've thought about this definitely because I'm thinking, do we get our $300 back? Because we're not going to do anything. I'm sure of it, right? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but they should. In my opinion, they should because
Like
there's
as
nothing
a
happening.
good faith move.
Absolutely, because what costs are they incurring this year as well?
Well, they don't incur a lot of costs anyway.
Well, I'm sure they're not sending their guys off to their Utah vacation like they used
Yeah.
to do. Or whatever they do. I don't fucking know. But they're not holding any events. I'm sure they're not going to hold any clinics or anything like that, right?
No. I mean, so far everything has either been canceled or postponed until the end of the season.
Like the smartest thing they could do to curry favor and look good to all the pipe bands is immediately refund everybody's money. Sorry, we really look forward to making it a better year next year and
Yep.
just look like heroes. But we've heard not a word about it.
Or maybe offer a discount for next year. I mean,
That's fair.
giving money
Yeah.
back, that's gonna be hard for them to pull money out of their
Yeah,
pocket.
giving-
What have
giving-
they spent it on though? What would they have spent it on by now?
Yeah, nobody's gone anywhere. I mean, they've probably spent it all on the AGM, which I guarantee is still going to happen.
It's going to happen online. What is that going to cost?
It's not online.
The AGM in November or whatever the fuck it is?
October at the fucking Irvine Marriott's still scheduled currently.
Well, you're assuming that's going to happen.
It would be interesting to see what happens if it doesn't, right?
I'm not paying for that because we didn't have any events. We pay because we have to.
Oh,
to
we're
do it
paying
be
to
part of
go.
it.
I swear to God, dude.
And we're having events on the East Coast here, so I mean they're having stuff going on still.
yeah,
We've had a couple up through like the Phoenix.
Yeah.
We've had 2, I guess.
yeah. I mean, it was basically Queen Mary in Phoenix.
And I think our last major event was Metro Cup.
Oh man, right under the wire too. The Metro Cup just made it under the wire.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe some people are saying this is a smart thing. It's just no fees next year. Done.
Or just a
That would make
discount
sense.
structure for the fee. Something that and you know what, the ECs of all those organizations will sort it out. They're going to get together and talk. It's complicated, right?
It's not that complicated.
It's easier to do no fees than refund fees for sure.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
makes
it's
more
way
sense.
easier.
Or discount fees. Yeah.
And I can say that as having to refund every goddamn registration fee, athletics fee, and vendor and clan fee over the past 2 weeks.
I haven't gotten my band feedback yet, by the way.
Oh well, you're not going to get it. Consider it a
Yeah,
donation.
I guess the good question would be, is on the other side of the pond, is the RSPBA going to refund because their entire season got scuttled?
And they just built a goddamn building.
They're so
Can they-
fucked, dude.
But to a point I'm seeing here in the live stream, can they afford to do that?
This is the greatest
yeah.
thing for Scott Curry right now that could have ever happened. Is that because this is the worst case scenario that exactly he was like Chicken Littling, right?
Yeah.
For this, like, what if something goes wrong and you guys are fucked? Guess what? It all went wrong and
You're
you guys are
wrong
fucked.
and you're all fucked.
Now
Wait, are
he
you
now he
saying-
looks like a hero.
So Scott Curry invented Corona.
He might have. Maybe that's what really happened.
No, dude, it's like
He went over to China and started eating bats.
Well, and it's
just
he just coughed on everyone. No, it's one of those things where it's like, this is why a lot of organizers do planning and the way that they do planning, because it's like, okay, we don't want to wager everything. We don't want to put it all on black. You know what I mean? Like, because it might come up red. Fuck. Like we gotta just slowly over time build up the money to do something stupid like a building renovation.
and have no incoming money for
Because
the
you
entire
could,
year.
yeah, because you can get screwed like really easily.
Yeah. And I don't know what kind of bailout packages they're going to have in the UK. We see what's going on here in the United States, and you need to look at RSPBA or even USPA or WUSPA. These are small businesses. And the government here in the United States is putting out small business loans that they may or may not qualify for. But think about it. This could put some of these associations out of business
Absolutely.
altogether.
Well, a good amount of the ones that I think ours are nonprofits, right? Like, isn't most of them a nonprofit?
Yeah, and nonprofits qualify. 501c3s qualify.
Oh,
for
thank
this
God,
building.
because we're gonna need it.
Yeah, no, I've
Hey, we're a 501c3.
we are, and I've looked into this already, so it's we're looking into it.
Are you just wiggling dilly?
I am, yeah. I just wanted there to be some active video, something going on, so people can look at him. He's so handsome with his eye patch.
With his eye patch. Yeah, one of his eyes
His
fell off.
googly eye.
Okay, so real quick, couple other quick plugs. Rab's in the chat. I wanted to plug Big Rab. We actually were on the most recent episode of the Big Rab show.
Not only that, but it was the greatest episode he's ever done.
Well, and
I haven't
more,
heard it yet, but I'm sure it was great.
and I guarantee Rab's audio editing chops went from whatever they
1 to
were, like whatever they were, 3 times, because that was a shit edit, man. I think we sent him our audio. He had his audio. He was like cutting back and forth.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was trying to bleep us when we were talking about people fisting each other. So good job, Rab. You nailed it, bro. That's basically how an edit for any episode of Chanarant After Dark goes.
I just want to say to the people that do listen to it, before we started, we did have a discussion like, all right, we're not going to swear. We're going to keep it together. And we actually tried really hard to keep it together. And it just didn't happen.
Did you have a safe word, Andy?
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, that was our safe word.
Cunt.
Our safe word was fucking cunt puncher. While we're on the subject of everything being canceled and diseases, we already talked about this at the beginning of the show, but our newest shirt, the Chanarant Eternal Youth Tee, is available at chanarant.com. It's a sweet pentagram. Wash your hands. Hail Satan. And the Dojo Tuning Clinics go. So why don't you give the good people an update on that for the exact amount of time that it takes me to get up and get a drink.
I got nothing to say about
Then
that.
why don't you give people a description of why they should sign up for the Dojo test drive while they're at home not improving their skills for exactly the amount of time it takes me to get up and get a drink.
Okay. You want me to do an ad for the dojo right now? Yeah. So the dojo test drive.
Chanarant.com/suckless.
You go to chanarant.com/suckless. Somebody, Joe, play some music behind me while I do this, will you? Do you know how to do that? So, so while you're bored at home, people doing absolutely nothing, head over to dojouniversity.com and sign up for the $1 premium. Actually, no, do not go to dojouniversity.com. What is it again? Chanarant.com/suckless. Go to chanarant.com/suckless and then sign up for the $1 premium. 1 month free for $1. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Dojo premium test drive, $1.
Yeah, that whole thing, and then learn how to play. Dude, I'm drunk. I don't know. It's fucking 3 PM and I'm hammered.
Sco, I like how you work there and you work here and you can get neither read right.
What are you
Like
talking about? What read have I ever done for here?
Like, you can't get the chain rant link right. You can't get the dojo link right.
It's not in front of me.
Sell, baby, sell.
I got nothing. So,
all right, let's try this.
All right, let me try it again.
Hello, everyone. Oh, you want to do it?
Yeah,
you got it? Okay.
Hello, everyone. Did you know... Jesus Christ, Joe.
Joe just flipped his desk over.
He's like, fuck this. Fuck you. So anyway, hey, everyone. Did you know at chanarant.com/suckless, you can get $1 for your first month of Dojo Premium Access. That allows you access to people like Rab Matheson and Bruce Gandy who can teach you on a weekly basis. And also cunts like me, Fuko, and of course Andrew Douglas, which nobody wants to go to his class anyway, but that's okay. Listen, you're stuck at home, you got nothing to do. We've got a lot of students that are working hard and doing really well, and I've got a surprise.
Are you talking about in the dojo?
In the dojo, not in our band. No, they're definitely sleeping in on a regular basis, just like Waken District does. But anyway, go to chanarant.com/suckless for your $1 for the first month. Dojo Premium.
Superb. Great ad read, Fusco.
See, wasn't that great?
Yeah.
So I noticed you skipped my fucking number 5. We'll do that in the life of Chanaranters. We'll just get into that in the life of Chanaranters.
Well, I mean, so I have one more plug. We can do number 5. And then...
This is the part everybody skips past. We're doing all the plugs in a row. Just throw them in randomly. Like,
yeah, okay.
Don't do it like Rab would.
Let's talk about number 5 because I'm curious about this. Because I haven't seen you on, and is this why?
It could be. So this relates to the last thing we talked about, everybody being cunts. And I'm blaming Australia for this because they got me using the word cunt so often. So recently I was...
Is that bad? I say cunt a lot.
I say it all the time, but apparently on Xbox Live it's a bad thing. So...
Okay, so people can call me racial slurs, but I can't call them a cunt.
Correct, dude. Let me tell you this fucking shit. Oh, so I was playing Apex Legends, of course.
Fair play.
And I was having a bad day. I think all the good people are on right now because nobody's got anything to do, but I was getting trashed. I was just getting hammered, right? And
also, you were losing.
And I was losing. So I played a game, whatever, and twice in a row, 2 different games in a row. And this is, I swear I'm not as bad as this, but I got 2 different people when we finished wrote to me and said you're trash or something. Like just
that happens all the time.
It happens all the fucking time, right? Yeah. So both of these people, like when somebody does that to me, I get so fired up. I went full New Yorker, like you motherfucker, you cocksucker.
You
like,
keyboard warriored?
Oh, I totally went back. I'm like, you're a fucking cunt to both of them, right as it happened. So the one guy reported me. And I'm like,
they can screenshot that.
I reported you right back.
Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it over audio where they can't screenshot the audio.
Well, I'm sure they can go back and listen to it. I don't fucking know. But anyway, so he's like, I reported you, haha. And so we're going back and forth. Oh, just we're texting back and forth to each other on Xbox Live.
Dude,
like a couple hours later, I get an email saying like, you're getting what do they call you're getting a suspension or something,
like a 24-hour or whatever.
24-hour suspension from communicating. I wasn't allowed to communicate with.
Oh,
anybody.
you still have to play then.
Oh, I could still play. Yeah, but I couldn't communicate, so I couldn't use.
Communicating's the worst part.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. So, oh wait, this guy couldn't fucking yell at me and call me trash, and then I respond, and then I get in trouble.
Dude, so you went full Bullock on some randoms.
No, they started it.
Okay.
The way I look at it, if you start it, then it's full.
It's on.
Full, yeah, it's on. It's full game, man. So I was really pissed about that. And then 24 hours later, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm free again. I don't know. Like, it was so
dumb. What you're saying is we're spending the evening getting on Xbox Live and calling people cunts until we both get banned.
We're gonna do it just through the microphone that's not recorded, so they can't ever do anything about it. So yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Joe, have you ever keyboard warrior anybody and call anybody a cunt online?
Just us.
Like on social media?
Just Voldemort or?
I generally do that on a phone call.
You do it so there's no proof?
I don't want somebody screenshotting my comments. I'd rather just brutally say it.
Well, there's anything I know about Joe, it's that he's brutal.
In the bedroom.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of contests that hopefully won't be canceled, there's rumblings. I think we briefly talked about this last week.
We did?
Maybe not. But there's rumblings of an upcoming invitational pipe band contest in October at the Rough Tail Brewing campus, which is a 5-acre beer brewing and selling and tap room and all that stuff. Hosted by none other than our good friend Beer Boy Brad.
We did talk about this last time, but I am excited to say it again Because when is this going to happen? Next year?
No, it's supposed to be this October.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You think it's going to happen?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we got to kind of see where the world goes, I suppose. But
This is exciting. This could be the best event of all year.
yeah, because
Where's it at?
it's going to be in Oklahoma City at
Yeah.
Roughtail Brewing Co.
Except for that part.
Yeah, except for being in Oklahoma City in October. Like we talked about it, but there's some interesting things. I think that I'm interested to see if they go through a sanctioning route or an unsanctioned route, because like Winter Storm, for example, is not a sanctioned event, and if you don't do that, you can kind of open yourself up to more interesting things. You can have like concert formations, you could have like different kind of pricing and judging structures. Could be a good sounding board. I'm interested to see how it goes. Plus, I'm gonna go anyway just because I like Roughtail beer, and I'll see my good buddy Brad.
I would go just for the sesh.
Just for the sesh, yeah.
Joe, you should bring Wake and District to that. We'll bring the band that shall not be named.
Head to head.
Do you have a grade 4 band or no? Just 5 and 3? Oh,
we do.
Oh, this would be
Head to head.
Let's do
all
it.
3 people who know our
Yeah,
music.
but what
by
I would
then.
probably do is put all my grade 3 players down on the floor and just go out there.
Oh,
and
I
win.
knew you were going to do that. I was like, dude, you cannot fucking... What is the word?
Sandbag?
Sandbag this shit? Like, what's his name would do?
Like Dilly. Like,
Stop.
The best way to do this show would be a quartet contest. Because only 3 or 4 of us know the music in our band anyway.
yeah, so that would help us immensely.
You know,
How
we
about
could have
4
a Spirit
pipers,
of
2
76
snares?
pipe band go.
We'll do it.
Ooh.
We'll call the quartet or the sextet. We'll call it the Thermopylae contest, because the numbers won't matter. The numbers your band has won't matter in that tiny little canyon where we're forcing you to play.
The V, per se.
Yeah.
The V, yeah. No, I like this idea. What if it's 4 pipers, 2 snares, and a bass? This
Mini band. Yeah,
Mini band contest.
Mini band contest.
And we go up against Wake and District, grade 4.
Or Spirit of 76.
But who would get Angel? Not it.
Oh, we get
Not
Angel.
us.
We get
Yeah,
Angel.
we don't want.
We don't
no,
want
no,
him.
no. He doesn't know our music.
He knows your music much better than ours.
And then the losing band gets a chance to recover the title in a sudden death paintball tournament. But no, like I think it's gonna be fun, man. I mean, assuming that the world can go back to normal, by the end of October, I'm excited to see what happens with this. And like I said, I'm going for the sesh anyway.
I say just go. Why not? We're gonna have nothing else to do.
I'll get to watch some East Coast bands, hang out with some ranters, drink some beer.
Yeah.
City of Chicago has a grade 4. They might be willing to make the trip.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good fun. So keep your eyes open as we hear more. Y'all will hear more about the Roughtail Invitational, and once they have once they finalize dates and stuff, I might see if we can get Beer Boy on to kind of give us the scoop on what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. All right, so Sko, it's your favorite part.
That's me.
It's your favorite part. The pipe in, fail, win, and try of the week. What have you brought to us today?
Okay, so I got some good stuff. You ready? I've been saving these up for weeks because we haven't done.
Yeah, we haven't done fail, win, and try for a while.
So I've got so many, and it was such a hard decision. But the win and the fail go together this week. The fail is this: we are the king. Wouldn't you say we're like the kings of like internet trolling and like fucking with people and saying their shit?
I suppose at this point, yeah.
So this actually
is there a visual component? Do I need to see this or?
I'll read it to you.
Okay.
So there's two things that they go hand in hand. So the fail of the week was a typical. Joe, I know you're gonna love this. People are such haters, essentially online, right? There's always the internet trolls, people that talk a lot of shit and whatnot. And there's in the last 3 weeks, there's been people trying to do a lot of positive things, like they're playing. They're doing the NHS thing, right? They're playing out on the fucking street corner for I don't know whatever reason or whatever, right? They're doing all those things
To honor national health workers.
Yeah, those cunts.
Well, NHS National Health Service, that doesn't really apply to us, but
no, it has nothing to do with us. But either way, so this one woman, whatever, decided to go play out in front of an old folks home or something, and they had some Scottish dancers, and she's actually the win of the week. But I'm starting with the fail of the week because this person comments on her post just being a fucking dick, right? And she's doing something fucking nice, and she's actually not that bad. So she's not bad at all. She's actually quite good. But so this is what he says. He goes, he writes on her. She posts it, and he writes back. Changed about 4 different times. He's Scottish, so he changed a boot. Maybe he's fucking Canadian. I don't know. Anyway,
either way, illiterate.
Changed the boot 4 different times signature. Chanter flat reads, not been blown in properly. But other than that, good effort. And she writes back, yep, haven't played my pipes in months, so Reed was not blown in, but who cares as long as it made people smile, and gave the nursing home some different company from a distance, right? So they're playing like literally out in front of the windows, and all the people are in the windows like waving, right? So she's trying to do something fucking good.
And this guy uses an opportunity to just be like, your shit sucks.
Yeah, so take a listen to her playing and tell me what you think. So she repeats, and there's dancers.
Yeah, I mean, there's like there's like little drone stuff here and there, but that's some good music.
Yeah, some minor stuff here. Like, could any of our people do that?
No.
For one. So I don't know what the fuck the guy's talking about. Like she's trying to do something fucking nice. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not like.
What's the guy's name?
It's not Ryan Randall. Oh, I'm gonna call him out. Don't get me wrong. So I want everybody.
First name.
The links are all out there. They're gonna be in the show notes. But,
yeah, but I don't think you can click through on the fail one. I think the fail one is a private thing.
I think you can.
Sorry, this content is not available.
Okay,
right now.
well I'll put it out there. So his name is. I don't know who he is, and for her name, Jen Margaret, who's a player in a pretty good band out in Scotland.
Well, cheers, Jen, for being the winner of the week, and fuck you.
Yeah, the other dude.
Junior.
Whatever the fuck your name is. So, do something nice for people, and because times suck.
So what's our try, my friend?
All right, so try of the week is Joe Brady. Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Try of the week is us trying to edit this podcast later.
Oh, no, we're going to go straight, aren't we?
Oh, hell yeah, buddy.
Isn't that how we do these things?
Yeah, this is how we do it now.
Goddamn, where the hell did it go? Hold on. Josh, why don't you read an ad while I find the try of the week?
Hold on, just pan in right here. I can't pan because it's a tripod.
Oh, I got it.
Hi, my name's Josh McEachern from the Chanaran podcast. You may remember me from such things as the Las Vegas Pipe Band YouTube channel and the Chanaran podcast, and also Joe Brady's Secret Sex Book. I'm here today to talk to you about money. Money's a thing that we all need, and for $5 a month, you can subscribe to us on Patreon. Patreon's the best way to support the show, aside from buying shirts. So, if you don't want to wear the fact that you support the show out in public,
apparently people have not been doing that lately.
Go to patreon.com/Chanarant, and for $5 a month, you can keep listening to us make horrible jokes and talk to Joe Brady. Now, back to the show.
All right, so our try of the week is... Now, I guarantee you every piper on the planet has been tagged in this goddamn Facebook post, but I actually found it kind of funny once I took the time to watch it. It's YouTube, but it was flying around Facebook. So
hold on, I'm muting it so I can kind of see what's going on here.
Okay, so this is the garbage bag bagpipes guy.
Oh, with recorders.
Yeah, so recorders, bagpipes. I'm gonna give him a try because it's goddamn funny. When you listen to him like trying to get it going, it just makes me laugh. So,
okay, yeah, let her rip.
Looks like a straw, right? Like taped together that he's using for a blow stick.
Yeah, I think it's like multiple paper straws, not even like proper straws.
Multiple, yeah. You got two recorders, a drone, and a channer. I don't know how he's cooked this together.
Also, I think that bag's too big for him.
It's definitely too big. It looks like a gaita. What do they call it?
Sounds like one too.
It does. At one point, he starts to figure out how to blow him in tune. This is actually a pretty good representation of Waken District Pipe Band. This sounds like something Groot would arrange.
This is what I played right before Chanarant Live. I played that same tune.
Yes, that's exactly what Josh played.
Right before Chanarant Live.
so true. Yeah, so I give him credit for actually bothering to go through the process of hooking all that shit up.
Making all that shit. Yeah,
people are really bored right now, apparently. Oh, that's great.
All these home skills are shining through.
Still better tuned than your average service band.
Absolutely. Okay, speaking of your average service band, we're incredibly excited to have Joe Brady on the show today. And kind of, when I approached Joe about coming on...
Wait, was there a win of the week, or was that the win of the week?
No, that was a try. Win was the second one. When I approached Joe about coming on the show, after I showed him, the Polaroid of his family tied up and taped with the newspaper and a gun to their head, he said, what are we going to talk about? And I want to talk a little bit about how bands are trying to not lose progress during all this shit. Now that that's us fucked for another year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which is remarkable for... It's the most perfect saying for this time.
For
what is going on.
And I think we already had an episode, so this would be like That's Us Fucked for Another Year Part 2.
I think this is part 3, to be quite
honest. Part 3. So Joe, real quick, because you're not the pipe major of the Waking District Pipe Band, correct?
Correct.
But you are senior member. I don't know what do you call yourself? Because I know you do a lot of work in the organization.
Band manager, yeah, band manager's fair.
Okay,
so
super.
We have an EC, and I'm on the board, so.
So what have you guys been doing to kind of like try to, because you're never really going to gain, I suppose, and you may not even be able to maintain progress during the fact that no one can meet and play. But like, what steps have you guys been taking so far? Just in case it might apply to, many of the lower grade bands that listen to us.
Or any of the bands, period, right? We've been trying to maintain as much normalcy as possible. I know that sounds crazy, but like when I say normalcy, band communications. Like I'm not kidding. For the first 4 or 5 days of this, I didn't know what to do or say to our members. And it hit me. We just needed to be as normal as possible. Continue to send recordings out during the week, things to work with, play along recordings. And then we decided to kind of use the dojo method of teaching online, how Andrew has that set up on Dojo, of working with groups online. And that's worked for both our pipers and our drummers, using Zoom or Google Hangouts, finding those methods. But back to your original point of what do? We're trying to keep things as normal as possible. People in there, trying to get them into the routines. A lot of our band members, especially our newer players that were really expecting to get out for St. Patrick's Day, said, my routine's interrupted. I was practicing every day with the plan to go up to this, and this happened, and they couldn't go out and play. So we put a new music book out. That was one thing we had intended to put a new music book out, and we're slowly rolling out our sets. We do a tune building process like Dojo does, rolling out our tunes to our members, both with the pipes and the drums. So
can we
out.
Bleep Dojo until they send us a check?
How about I just say Mojo instead of Dojo?
Fusco will bleep it in post.
Schmeiper's Mojo.
So, I'll stop saying that then. Okay.
No, I'm just screwing with you. Okay, so you guys are actually in potentially a more precarious position because you are learning new music now.
So we're putting new music out, but my other concern it's one thing to learn the music and send recordings in and play along and have a Zoom session, but I'm really concerned where people are at their instruments, because normally after St. Patrick's Day we do a tear down of the instruments, rebuild them, get the maintenance going. And put that out there, and I've had one member that said, I need some help with getting something squared away. So I would assume that everyone else's bag is airtight and they go to outer space with it, but we all know that's not the case.
I'm about to say, I can tell you right now where everyone's maintenance is. Actually, Fusco could tell you right now where everyone's maintenance is.
In our band?
No, in his or ours or anyone.
Well, if they're a lower level person, I'm going to guess it's shit. But this is what you do, Joe. Send them over to dojouniversity.com.
Son of a bitch.
And have them take the Transition to the Bagpipes course, version 2.0, which includes the new Joe Brady method. Well, it's not new, but new to us, Joe Brady method. And it's all about the first 4 questions and then learning to blow your drones to a target. Right, Joe?
Right. It's not my method, though. So it's just a method that I use.
We made it famous as the Joe Brady method. We don't care.
Fair enough. But, one of the things with the instruments, we thought of a way of how do we get members other than to just pick up your instruments, play them, and send us a recording so we could see it or post it to our band app group. I talked to the EC this afternoon about contacting local funeral homes, and we know that funeral services have been impacted here in the Raleigh area
You're
that
trying to take advantage of all the dying people.
Okay, so not take advantage of, but actually give our members an opportunity to go out and play and not charge to go play a funeral.
Oh, okay.
And
Get
put a
outside
piper
and play.
outside. And I just think it's the right thing to do. But in doing so, maybe kind of qualify our members to make sure their instruments are where they need to be and they are where they need to be, and go out and play the funeral. I mean, the families will remember that forever.
That's actually a
It's an
really
awful
good
time
idea.
the whole family can't get together. So
Fusco, you're
try to put
gonna
that together.
can we
Especially if
steal
Angel
that?
plays it.
Can we steal that idea? Can we do that?
Anybody can. I mean, we'll let people know what we're doing and how we're doing it. We're just trying to figure out how to spin this to the funeral homes that they don't think that we're trying to take advantage of. We don't want any money. We just want our members, that a lot of them are stuck at home, that if they want to go out for an hour to a local cemetery, because that's where all the services are taking place, our graveside, go out and play Amazing Grace.
Yeah. Quick tune.
Yeah.
This would eat into my actual job, though, wouldn't it?
For you, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do the right thing for the right reasons for my band members, getting them out there playing and making sure their instruments are where they need to be. So I think people might take advantage of it. I get it. There's other folks that this is money for them. It's their job, and I don't want to interfere with that either. So.
Well, it's interesting. I've noticed a shit ton of bands like having Zoom meetings or whatever online to do band practices and stuff.
You can't do a band practice online.
You can't. And I've delayed. Like I was like for 2 weeks, I was just fucking hornswoggled into like
Trying to figure out what to do,
what am I
yeah.
going to do here? Because
Well, and you teach at dojo. You know that you can't do a band rehearsal like that.
True.
So,
True.
The
but
way we did it was our lead tip, Michael. He made some great recordings. We could see him playing, put a metronome on in the background, and went through playing the MSR, played our jigs, and had us play along and comment on where we were having problems with it.
Well, here's the thing that I came up with though, Joe. Is it seems like potentially a giant waste of time for everybody because we have recording. Assuming your band has recordings of your sets, right? They could do that on their own, right? But we could do that again in a group session like that. But you can only hear one person at a time anyway.
Correct.
Potentially either playing against the recording or just, hey, I want to play this. You all play with me. But
Or whatever automatic noise suppression shit the software has.
well, I'm not even talking about that because you can't listen to each other at the same time at all. There's no way. So, but it's like, okay, let's go around the table. But so what we came up with is we just decided to have one-on-ones where Josh and I split everybody in the band, and we'll just do one-on-ones on our normal band practice night for half an hour each and just go through the set. Whatever.
How many pipers do you have in the band?
12.
All right.
maybe?
Yeah, I have 48. So.
Right, but you have numerous pipe majors and pipe sergeants.
Right, and we've been
We have
breaking it
two.
down. So we've been doing it in smaller sessions, but not one-on-one. Actually, I did a one-on-one today with just one student who was having problems, but that's a
Well,
lot to
think
ask.
about-
That's
think-
a big ask for your NCOs.
I don't know. Think about the other side of it though. Like your students are sitting there for 2 hours while you spend 20 minutes with one person. They're listening to
Yeah.
that. Is that a valuable use of their time? Or I mean,
Well,
granted, they have nothing else to do. I get that.
So,
but
so when let's just say we're face to face and we're going around the table, aren't you playing along as you're going around the table? Isn't that what you should be
Yeah,
doing?
but
Whether
you
it's as an
should be
in-person-
you
But if-
should be doing
if
that.
you're
yeah,
a grade
but
5 player, grade 4 player, and you're not that good at like analyzing yourself, is that all that useful without having direct feedback? I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think it. For me, I don't think it would be.
The thing for me, because like we had this conversation, the two of us, when we talked about the student program and like the getting new students into the band and trying to kind of moving them through. And I was a big proponent of don't do group lessons because no matter what in a group lesson, no matter how long it is, the vast majority of time is spent on the weakest player.
Usually, yes.
So
I would agree.
that's why I was trying to like break it up and do like solos only. Like okay, instead of us having 4 people around the table for an hour, and one person's gonna get 20 to 30 minutes of attention and repetition because they're the one that's struggling the most. How do you kind of break it up and make sure that you get people just here's your slot, and what you do with it is really on you at that point. I mean, I'm a big proponent of the fact that, and I had this with my little group that I was broken into for our Tuesday band practice of, the great thing about one-on-one is this is your time. It's your time and my time, and there's no hiding. There's no, I'll just let the next person do it. There's not really getting out of it. It's like, okay, no, you need to focus. You need to pay attention to explicitly your problems and the things that you're doing incorrectly or correctly. And for fuck's sake, I had to tell people to bring notebooks. Like, write it down.
Well, that's a whole different thing. I mean, it's part of the problem, I suppose, but I I see what you're saying.
I think one-on-one is I think it's faster. I would say that
It's
people,
more work on the NCOs, Joe. I agree. It's more work for our point. But we're normally on a Tuesday night or a band practice night. We're there from 6 to 9 anyway. It's no more time than that to get through half my band.
And I think like a individual 20-minute session or 30-minute session has the exact same amount of actual growth and impact as everyone sitting around for 3 hours, and you're still only getting 30 minutes of individual attention when there's 10 other people. Like,
potentially,
that's just the way it works.
That's the struggle. I actually don't know the answer, but that's the thing I was worried about. It's like, all right, we're going to sit here for 3 hours, and I'm going to feel through the internet people rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
Well, no,
some people have the amazing ability to roll their eyes through the internet about how like painfully inefficient.
And also people have a tendency to hide, right? Like,
they hide in band rehearsal though too. Whether it's band rehearsal or online lessons, members are going to hide. It's if you get someone that is, let's say, the weakest link in that circle on that call at that time, bypass that person and work with them separately for 20 minutes.
Cut out the middleman. Work with everyone separately.
We just did it. Anyway. We just went
right
into that.
We just assumed that we had to work with everyone separately.
Plus, it's a great opportunity because so everything's fucked, right? We have nowhere to be for the next 4 months.
Our season's over.
So, let's take I took it my group all right, play everything and let's take you back to the beginning of the fundamentals that are important.
Yeah.
What do we care about? Which is the same mantra we've been saying for 2 years, as far as playing to the beat, playing with good expression, and cleanly, essentially, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, are you giving your band members a target of what we're going to do next? I mean, fundamentals is great, but what are they playing for?
At this point, probably concert.
To be honest, I have no idea. But
at this point, the next thing's probably going to be the November concert.
Have you rolled out any new music?
Not yet, but we're working on it.
We were going to do it after this season was over.
Right, so now I'm in scramble mode. But it's also a great chance for me to readjust things in the MSR medley and various other sets, because I've been writing music, not writing it myself, but I've been rearranging and whatever to put stuff out. But it's like it's all happening so fast, I can only get it done so fast.
No, I understand. So I mean, just breaking it up, Ken Groot has been putting out recordings of our grade 3, just different phrases. The phrase that pays or the phrase of the day. He's been putting these out, telling us to play along with them. Whether it's a run in the Strass Bay or a middle part of the march, he's been telling us to focus on certain things, so that those are practice points for us each day, and that's our grade 3 band, and he's doing that. So we're doing similar things with the general band music as well.
Like what? Like general band is a big difference from grade 3. So
but we're treating it the same way. We're giving them phrases to work with or a line to work with.
Okay,
that's interesting.
Or even tune building the tune.
Well, and this is like one of the things that I ran into when I had my solo people was I feel like I'm saying the same stuff over and over again. This is why I flipped out on everyone over bringing a goddamn pen. Was
people unprepared blows my fucking
like
mind.
I'm like so like I'm saying the same stuff.
You're at home and you don't even have a pen.
I'm saying why aren't you do you practice with metronome? No. Why? I've been telling you to do that for 52 weeks. Like, are you breaking things down into smaller pieces? Are you just taking just the one part you're screwing up and not the whole line or the whole tune?
Well, as Joe says, the phrase, the line, or the phrase.
Just play the thing that you're having trouble with. And so I had people when I was Skyping with them. I was like, literally circle just this thing, play that thing 110 times, then put it back.
Yeah, so then why not make a recording?
And that's
because he's probably not alone. So why not make a recording, post that to your group, and say, everybody work on this today, and it goes out every day at noon, and then have another phrase the next day at noon.
Do you ever? But I have a question for you, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe does not lose his heart no matter what.
I know. That's why he
never ever loses.
That's not true.
Do you know what?
True.
But you never let it be public. That's the difference.
Here's why I hate having. Here's why I hate having
cry.
Joe on the show.
I go into the closet and cry sometimes.
The reason
Ask
that
Seth, he'll tell you.
The reason that I absolutely hate having Joe on the show
He's so goddamn positive.
is he's such a good person he's such a good person and such a positive person that every time he's on the show, it makes me feel like even more of a piece of shit than I already am.
I would love to be in Joe's band because he's so inspirational all the fucking time.
But it
makes me crazy.
It recharges my battery a little bit, like Joe recharges my battery a little bit.
Going back to when this whole thing started, I'm not kidding. I was in a fog for 4 days. Like after St. Patrick's Day hit and we didn't get together, I didn't know what to do or tell my members. I was literally in a fog.
I feel you, man. I was the same. I was like, just fucking.
But also, do you guys ever feel like we're in a losing battle where it's like, okay, at what point do I have to break this down so far? Like, if I have to make sure everyone's on the same platform for me to send you a video of one phrase of one tune once a week, then what the hell are we even doing this for? Like, you remember what Callum said when he was on the show?
It works different for everybody.
You remember when Callum said that everyone's just too goddamn coddled? Like, he just freaking...
Bay!
No, that was Colin, not Colin.
No, Callum.
Oh,
Callum,
sorry.
not Colin.
Yeah, Callum Beaumont. Callum Beaumont, when he was on the show, was just like, he's like, guys, you guys are just making this way too complicated. Just sit down and play the fucking music.
Yeah, but that's...
there's that. I mean,
but there's also the other... the other side of that is...
I have arrangements. I have different arrangements for different levels in the tune. I mean, I have some tunes where we've scrubbed out some of the grace notes, watered it down, the veggie version, to blend.
That's interesting.
And from the top down, I think that's okay, as long as you could blend and play together. And again, going back to what Doogie said with, strip out the grace notes and play the notes in time.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental, isn't it?
But it's just interesting, like, okay, so when you add that back in, like, at what point... Okay, here's a more existential question. At what point are you bastardizing the music down to the player so far so that you can field a competitive or performing band that why are you doing it anymore at that
point?
Well,
isn't the focus to get them to learning how to play the bagpipes first and maybe not focus on a competitive band or a game, a contest?
Yeah, but learning to play the bagpipes isn't... I mean, and this is up for debate, and I'm interested in everyone's opinion, but learning to play the bagpipes doesn't necessarily mean spending 5 years playing everything without embellishments.
I agree.
So where is it a happy middle ground? What do you guys think? I'm interested because you guys both teach a lot more than I do. I'm being forced to teach more than I usually do, and I hate teaching. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can from good teachers.
In a band setting for us, if you can blend, if we can have you blend, and it's not going to hurt us, is there harm in that?
So how do you unblend? Like, are you setting the bar too low, or do they keep working? Do you have people that are just continuously working hard to not have to play the veggie version?
No, you absolutely have to build back the embellishments and the grace notes. You have to build them back in.
If you
have a student that can understand a 16th note phrase, a dot cut of how it goes, because there's a G grace note and D grace note in between, strip the grace notes out, get them playing the 16th note phrase correctly, and then build those notes back in.
Okay. Does that impetus come from the teacher or from the student, in your opinion?
I think it comes to both. I mean, haven't you as a student had light bulb moments with parts of tunes where first, I'm going to take this doubling out and play just a G grace note until I can get that in right in time and the G grace note's landing on the beat, and then I bring the doubling back in. Where I could do it cleanly on my practice chanter and then migrate it to the bagpipe.
What do you think, Fusco?
I'm a relatively recent conversion of this. Like, I used to think, well, if you're going to just do it right from the beginning. But I also have learned that what I call building the bridge method of start with something. Okay, so like starting with learning to play the pipes with the scale, right? And then learning grace notes, and then playing good rhythm, which is where people really start to fall apart, is
the struggle,
rhythm.
Well, and in classic, in like normal education, it was completely skipped over for the most part. Like,
correct.
Nobody understood
embellishments
rhythm.
Came first.
Yeah, nobody understood that rhythm was important until
way later,
very recently.
And I'm on the other side where Joe's talking about where play grace notes and play good rhythm, and I can push you. Nobody's gonna fucking know. I'm okay with that because I need my band to be big and I need people to show up to fucking gigs, and I'm okay with that. So, and there's other people that doesn't mean you're not teaching them embellishments along the way. But as you move forward, you're playing your pipes over here with good grace notes and good rhythm. Hopefully, assuming you're learning that, you're working. Well, yeah, you're assuming a lot, but you're working your embellishments and stuff along the way. But eventually, those two things will merge and you'll add them back in. You can do it one at a time. You can add all right, what's our biggest embellishment struggle, or what's the first thing we're successful at? Maybe it's doublings, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's D-throws and burls, whatever. But you're working those, and then you add the burls back into tunes, right? And then you add 6 months down the road as they're improving their doublings to create good rhythm. They're throwing those back in, and they can still play A-lap, A-sap, or good dot cut patterns to the beat.
I'm just imagining these transparency sheets where you have like a veggie version of the music, as Joe calls it, and you flip over a sheet and some grace notes come in, and you flip over another sheet and some embellishments come in.
Yeah, actually, I do have sets of music like that for students.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. I've definitely converted to that point, because in the end, what matters is you get a band out there. All I care about is that their tone is good and they're playing good rhythm.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me.
So I have a question.
And it has to be musical too. So that comes in. You can't go out there playing Minstrel Boy with no grace notes.
No, but if you're playing grace notes and good rhythm, you're going to be musical.
This leads into, I have a question.
You may not be pulsing, but who gives a shit?
I have a question for both
Fair
of you,
enough.
and we'll go in reverse order. We'll go Fusco first, then Joe. What do you do when you have someone that's in that spot where they are learning rhythm and therefore the music they're playing is pretty dumbed down, and then they have to cover a solo gig?
I would never put them in that position.
You
I
just
agree.
never have them play?
I would just not do the gig. So I would be okay with somebody playing a gig with just grace notes, assuming they could produce decent sound and knew how to tune themselves.
And yeah, lots of the other thing is tuning and tone, and a lot of our focus has been tone and blowing.
So you
It's
got to treat
more-
the instrument separately, because the practice chanter is one instrument, the bagpipe's a different instrument.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So, but again, my philosophy for a lot of my students versus the band is I'm trying to convert the band into this, but it's very hard because people are already along a path. But from a student perspective, it's 100% about rhythm and tone more than anything else. And
It's the hardest part to teach.
You couldn't play in front of a judge without embellishments. But if you go out in front of a judge and play a 2/4 march in grade 4, and you come back clean but too slow, I'm as happy.
You're probably going to win too.
I'm as happy as can be.
You might win that
Or
thing.
whatever. Like, that's the last thing you're worried about is if you can play steady and your instrument sounds good. Because what is the thing we bitch about on this show constantly? What's the biggest thing on the fail of the week that always shows up? Is like people that just sound absolutely terrible, not because of their fingering, because they can't fucking make.
Well,
their
I mean,
instruments.
and I don't know if we brought this up on the show, but like one of the last like 2 or 3 weeks of band practices we had, I was working with a student level member from 6 to 7, and the biggest thing was he opens his case, and I was like, well, why are your drones all together in your case? And he's like, well, once they're tuned, I just put them in the case.
Yeah, we've all dealt with
let
this.
me ask you this then. When that student got their bagpipes, did you not show them how to take their bagpipes apart, put them together, take them apart, put them together, put them in the pipe case?
No. This guy had been playing service band level for years, and then
But I mean,
moved
you
and
didn't
came to us.
reset them to the way or assimilate them into the processes that you guys use?
Yes. I think I know who you're talking about. No, but gently. Let's put it that way, Joe.
Okay.
So because
I was not gentle.
no, well, Josh is never gentle. That's true. But
It's
like,
funny. I'm not gentle at band rehearsal. You think I am, but I'm not. I'm
not a
jag
band
about
rehearsal,
it.
but like we're talking about pre-band rehearsal. They're not sitting there wasting our time.
Well,
I mean, they're
just-
wasting
and-
Josh's time.
Well,
but
sometimes
not
I don't
band's
realize it too. Like in this case, like I show up. I'm on time, so that person was there early and they're playing whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. Like let's get a quick tune in. It took me weeks to figure out this person didn't know how to tune their drones
Why did it take you so long to figure that out?
because they were close enough. I just figured they were bad at it, and then I saw them put their pipes away, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I just leave it together, and that way I pull it out and play. I was like,
Yeah, but
no, that's not right.
We've all been through that, but to me, that's more.
But as a band, do you
the
guys go
fault
through a
of the
tuning
people that
process?
taught
Do you
you.
go through the same routine every week with the tuning process?
Yes.
But our student period is not the same as our band.
You should
period.
do it the same.
Yeah,
It should
well,
be the same.
the difference is sometimes students are there, sometimes students aren't there. Sometimes someone shows up for 1 week and never comes back. Sometimes people show up regularly. Like,
I will tell you
Well,
this,
I
Joe.
would keep the
It is
routine in
always the
place,
same
though.
for me, always. So, like,
Yeah.
remember I pulled this guy aside. Remember I pulled him in the other room like a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks, a month ago. Fuck, it's been so long. And all I had him do was, dude, prove that you can tune your fucking drones because I'm tired of this shit. And I had taught it to him. And I want you to go through the process. It's learning the process and doing it over and
I
over
did
and
it
over
with
again.
him too. You were talking about the same person.
It doesn't mean that they're repping at home. You've got to rep them all the time.
I
You
think
gotta
we-
do the
I
same
think
that they know
process.
how to rep
Whatever you do at
the
band, you
process.
have to do the same process.
I think
when
we
you
need to
warm up.
have two different sessions of like, okay, if you're a brand new zero player, you take the intro conversation that here's 30 minutes, here's what I want you to do, here's what's expected of you, here's what we're going to do. And if you've been playing but playing wrong for 8 years, a second session of like, okay, I understand what you are, here's how we run practice, here's how we do this, here's how we do this, here's how we do
Hey,
this.
And now's the perfect time to do that, to formalize that.
Correct. Absolutely.
Because it's amazing to me when I show up and I'm just like, and granted, it's also my own naivete where I'm like, what do you mean? Who taught you? Why do you not know this? Which is why
it's not always
learning to teach the hard way.
To a certain extent, you can blame the teacher, but also you can't because they probably told them this.
And then they just didn't listen.
But whether they just didn't rep it, they didn't force the system.
Oh, trust me,
I
spent the vast majority of my Skype lessons on Tuesday telling people to play with a metronome and write down the things I'm telling them.
That's fair.
And Josh, those different methods work for different people. That's why you have to layer it. I have some people that want video, some that want audio, some that just want sheet music. So you have to layer it and provide all those things for them.
But isn't that what Callum was talking about? Like,
you also have to keep in mind that I have to try to make money. I can't spend 8 hours a day recording videos for piping students.
I understand, and you got to rely on other people to help you do it and throttle it out. You don't have to do it all at once. You could do it a set at a time or a tune at a time. Build it out. But I mean, to the point with Callum, I mean, he's naturally talented. I don't know how much he has to fight for every note or every measure or every line. I do. And I have to rep it to get it right. I mean, I've seen other people pick up music and they have it memorized instantaneously. Does it irritate me? Yeah. But they're naturally talented.
Joe, when did you pick up the pipes? How old were you?
I was 9. And at 9, I should be a grade 1 piper, right? I should be great.
Yeah, you should be much better than you are.
No, I suck.
Man, did you ever see a parallel?
You know what though? Joe is probably a reasonably good-looking teenager, and he probably spent 0 time practicing. Probably most of his time finger banging whores in
I was in the seminary. Let's not forget that. Okay?
You ever see like a parallel between like Joe and like Van? You remember Van?
Oh yeah.
Who was like the nice guy who like would really work the reps with everyone and like really go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait, what is your? Sorry, I missed.
No, I was just saying. Do you ever see the parallel between those two people?
Oh, like, very very similar. But they had infinite patience, and
that's
sometimes that's really important.
Also, sometimes
I keep getting people messaging in the chat that are saying Joe was a real cunt when he was a pipe maker.
Oh no, it's funny. Even to this day at band practice, we'd go into the hall and people go, "What mood is Joe in?" Like that's going to set the tone of rehearsal. Literally, that's going to set the tone.
Dude, I had a talking to once. This was years ago by some people in the band, a family that you know.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta sit down with these people once talking about like they like sort of told me, they're like, listen, we walk in and we're like, oh god, what mood is Fusco in today? Because they don't know how they're gonna react to me, right? Which is so perfect because that's exactly correct. Like
that's what you want.
I don't know because what ended up motivating people in the end, I don't know.
Well, and
I'm fucking clueless.
Like the thing for me, like we talked about this on the show, but we had this before pandemic, like 2 or 3 weeks before pandemic, where you walked in and I was yelling at everyone and throwing things. And like
did I throw things?
No, I threw things.
Yeah. I was saying
and it was like, I'm usually pretty chill, but like it's whatever it takes to get through to a person, right? Like, okay, if I'm really calm and I'm really even and I'm telling you what's going on and you're just not absorbing it, I'll kick a chair over and be like, "Are you fucking listening now? Like, have I attracted your attention to the words that are coming out of my mouth?"
Part of that is youth, though. You have that youth of the.
It just depends. It just depends. Like if I've told you the same thing 4 times calmly and then I throw a chair and you get it right.
Then you found the method that works for that person.
It validates your bad behavior.
Every student learns differently, right? Like I had when I was doing solo lessons here, I had a student who like had a lot of PTSD and stuff, and being very calm, being very forgiving, like hey, like don't worry about it, don't freak out, just try it again. Guess what? Everyone screws it up. Just keep going. Like that worked for that person. I had another person that was like a younger dude where I was like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Are you wasting my time? You wasting your money? What's going on? And that worked for that guy.
Yeah. But you've got to be the kind of teacher that can adapt quickly and
you gotta be like Metamorpho, man. You gotta be like fucking Jack Lee, who will tell, or actually I would say more Seamus. Seamus is really good at.
Seamus is better at it.
Seamus is really good
Jack
at.
Is kind of the same
he's always nice to everybody.
Seamus flips quickly, which is.
Seamus is really good at like telling like the new players in our band like, oh, that's okay, you got it, no worries, man, just try it again, and then telling me like, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Yeah. He threw like a tuner at you.
Yeah,
like what the fuck are you doing right now? Come on, get it fucking right. I'm like, all right, like.
Well, but was he right or wrong?
He is good at that, though. Yeah, without a doubt, he is good at that. And
different strokes for different.
No
folks.
one wants to see Jack upset, though, right? I mean, seeing Jack mad is.
But Jack is like that
unsettling.
perfect father figure. You don't want to see him disappointed.
I would bet SFU. He probably.
Oh, I guarantee he loses his shit. I would love to see a video, but no,
folks.
I bet it happens. I've just never.
Oh
seen
no,
it.
they've come out and said it. You don't want to piss Jack off.
Yeah, Jack's the one you worry about, not Terry. Right back in the day.
But
that
see,
was
that's the reputation I'm trying to cultivate among students. Is you don't want to piss Josh off, so do your homework.
like I want to be the disappointed father. I think I play that role well, except that I get so angry.
I want to be the. I will literally just tell you to walk out and go home.
Please go home.
Yeah.
It's such a fine line.
Well, that's where the sit down. You had the idea of the sit down and play your Channer thing, which I immediately latched onto. Like, this is great because I don't have to tell them to go home. I just have to tell them to play Channer.
Right.
It's like, sit the fuck down, play your Channer.
Yeah. And you do that.
You obviously don't know it. So,
what style is Groot? I'm curious.
Ken's teaching style?
Yeah.
He wants to get the best out of you. There's no doubt about it, and he knows what everyone's kind of limitations are. And he will tell you, hey, listen, if there's a Pele here, we're not going to play it because as a group we wouldn't be able to play it best together. So Ken really focuses on what's best for the band. And it's an interesting dynamic between him and our lead tip. And again, different, Ken's a boomer and Michael's not. And watching them come together and do what's best for the group as a whole, it's a neat dynamic.
So is he more the patient type? Is he more the lose it type?
No, he's extremely patient. Michael is the lose it type, and in a sense that it's a good balance.
What about
Katie? He's Yoda. Yes, Bruce Yoda.
What about fucking Dalton though?
Dalton is so chill.
He's a goddamn hippie. He's one of those dirty hippies.
But watching Dalton Dalton gets mad, and when you see him getting mad, it's like,
does he get real quiet?
Yeah,
I like that.
But he gets mad. But Dalton is so chill about everything. And again, Dalton's the same thing. He just wants the best out of people and doesn't want to call people out. And no one wants to be the jag-off, heavy-handed person in the room. They leave that for Josh or Joe Brady, I guess, or Seamus.
Seamus, yeah.
Joe, I'm sending you a virtual fist bump because it's not an easy job, but someone has to do it.
But yeah, you need a little bit of a balance, right? And Dalton will send somebody out and say fix their pipes. It's you try to enable people as much as you can. You color code if there are drones having a problem, tell them to fix it, and they come back the next week and they didn't fix it, and it's got to get fixed, right? And that's aggravating to him. I could see it. It wears him down, especially as a young pipe major. It will wear the shit out of you.
I'll tell you this. Here's a conversation I've had with Aussie Broad quite a few times over the last month, especially since all this shit hit the fan, right? Because one, we've been trying to figure out the band that shall not be named, like how we're gonna proceed, and keep people moving and whatnot, right? And people are definitely going through things. In Vegas, like everything's shut down, so like literally you cannot walk into a casino anywhere on the Strip. Everything's closed. Right?
If it was all over,
a lot of our people work for these places, so they literally do not have jobs.
And
right?
if it was all over tomorrow and there was a gig in May, we couldn't afford to go.
Right. I could never ask somebody like, hey, guess what? We're going to Costa Mesa. Like, no. Like, we'd have to front it or no, we're fucked. It's not going to happen. But so we're dealing with that, one. But two is, what was my point? Where was it going with this?
I don't actually know.
I have no fucking clue.
Well, I could say this, in dealing with people and dealing with personalities, a lot of our members, they're scared. You used the phrase earlier, the fear of missing out, the FOMO. And we have some people that are generally anxious, and watching other people around them be anxious really just magnifies it for them. So this is hard for them right now. And there's people that are just downright sad about this because they don't know what's next, whether or not they have a job or they're just being at home and taking care of their kids. You're right, Andy, to your point, in Vegas, everywhere, people are going to lose their jobs. And when they lose their jobs, they're not going to be able to come to band practice.
Oh, yeah, no, this is definitely happening. Like, that was my point.
I'm wearing sweatpants right now, man. I'm unemployed. Like, it sucks.
Like, literally, I met with 4 or 5 people on our Tuesday night practice, half an hour at a time. And, like, one of the 4, I would say, was pretty chill. And the rest of them were like, yeah, I'm kind of fucked. Like, I don't know where my life is going to go from here. I might move to Mexico. I might move to fucking... I mean, I don't know.
We're going to invest band money in cots, and everyone's going to be living in my front room.
Like, where are people going to be living?
I'm going to have 7 people living on cots in my front room, and I'll be playing Icebox in the
There's
office.
definitely, like, people like, where am I going to be living 2 months from now? Like, they don't know. Like, there's such a thing going on, right?
Dude, I'll tell you what, though. As soon as the 6 to 10 person rule is removed, and everyone is out of a home and has to live on cots at my house, those motherfuckers are going to be practicing every day.
We're going to have band practice every day.
day.
Could you imagine how great band would be if we practice every day?
If we're practicing every day in my 1,000 square foot home, yes.
That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic.
Your neighbors are going to love it. The quartet is going to be awesome.
Even before the lockdowns went into play where we couldn't have large gatherings, we went in the band, our grade 3 went and had a practice in the park. We went outside and had a band practice, and then they shut it down that no groups could even come together anymore. And, we kind of want to abide by that.
So we've kind of gotten all over the place with what are we going to do during quarantine. I'm actually interested, and it's going to be a longer episode, but I'm interested in both of your opinions on what do you guys predict, and predictions are obviously slightly useless right now, but what do you guys predict as the best case and worst case scenario for the U.S. season until the end of the year? Let's start with Fusco.
Best case scenario? Best case scenario is they give us our money back, and we have $300 more to not do anything with. But this is a thing I discuss with many a whore, is what is the end game? Like, where are we going with this in the end? It would be nice to know that, like, obviously we don't know. Like, maybe this will be over in 6 months, maybe it won't. But, like, okay, April is fucked, right? Every state in the union has basically said...
April and May, by the way.
Well, not every state. We've only been extended through April, right? We haven't been told through May. But it's coming. It's coming. We know
it's actually coming through June.
But it's coming. But we know that, right? But still, okay, so we got to go through April. Okay, we're all going to be socially distanced for fucking April and probably May. Like, at what point do we release the fucking Kraken? Like, we have no idea. So people are losing their minds about, like, all right, how long is this going to go on for? Because it's not like this is the first time we've ever had a major outbreak of something, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially downtown
since
Vegas,
1918
herpes.
at least, right?
Well, I was ground zero for that. What was that, Joe?
I said since 1918, right?
Or whatever. SARS happened, right? And they contained it.
Well,
but, like, how
but
overboard do we have to go?
SARS was nothing like this, right? And this is a double whammy because it's the economy, and it's our health. More importantly, it's our health.
Right.
So those two things are going to impact everything. And to be planning, there's no plans. All these contests and even the organizations, they're doing the right thing. They're canceling it for the right reasons. And we have to see. We can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel to know if it's a train coming at us or if it's an exit. Right.
Correct. That's the thing that I'm worried about, is that there's no end in sight. So there's no way to plan for anything.
Well,
I'm not talking about just fucking games.
Just plan for
Who
your
gives
band?
a shit about the games? I'm not talking about performances.
No,
I'm talking about people's
individuals,
mental state.
yeah, and stuff like. And like the thing you run into is like, okay, like what's the first priority right now? Don't die. What's the second? What's the second priority? Don't go broke.
Right, because that's a significant part of this, people.
If you're the most diehard pipe band aficionado, that may be your third priority right now.
Maybe. But like, think about, like, okay, everybody assumes pipe band is a hobby. Like 80% of people, right? It's not like a way of life. Like,
it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. I get it. But, okay, like we have certain band members who are like, I may move back to fucking Mexico.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Like, people are going to fucking leave.
People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to
lose their job. They're not going to be able to afford to come down here. We got people in Utah that come down from us. We got people that like are not necessarily U.S. citizens that play or come from fucking Arizona or whatever. They're not going to be able to afford this shit.
Arizonians are U.S. citizens.
They're not going to.
Right?
Well, okay.
For now, until they inevitably secede.
Barely, but we're going to. Chances are every band in the nation is going to lose people. They're out of towners. People are going to be able to travel. We can't afford shit. The economy matters. Like, you can pretend
really,
it doesn't.
Andy, you can't start thinking about that right now. Any of this, right? Because there is no light at the end of the tunnel on this right now. Because we don't know. And that's okay.
There's
it's
a
okay
light, but like
know.
you said, we don't know if it's a train or any or.
So I think the thing to do right now is to try to find some semblance of normal for your band, and that's all you could focus is on in your band and your people.
But what if you hate your fucking band?
What if what? What?
Like, what do you do then, Joe?
Yeah, at least we're live. At least we got several members of our band in the audience.
there's certain people, trust me, I'm exaggerating for effect, but it doesn't hold untrue. Like, let me give you a fucking thing that pissed me off this motherfucking week, right?
Why don't you go ahead and tell us, Andy?
I'm going to tell you fucking what happened, right? So, all right.
Did you even...
Oh, it's empty.
Oh, you emptied your...
Oh, I'm fucked.
emptied your allotment. Yeah.
I'm completely fucked. I got to teach in an hour. So, I think Dougie's in here. I'm fucked. So, here's what I was thinking, right? So, our band practice week, we finally got the pipers back together.
Keep in mind, you can't get
everything.
fired.
As pipe major and drum sergeant, I organized.
I mean, you can, but don't get
I
fired.
organized pipe practice. I organized drum practice. I organized tenor practice. Everything, right? So, our drum instructor, who out of the goodness of his heart, who really enjoys our people, was like, all right, I'm going to Skype with our guys on Tuesday. We haven't had practice in like 3 weeks. One of the three of them, I sent a message out to everybody on Monday, like, all right, we're going to practice. This guy's going to practice with us 7:30 on Zoom or whatever the fuck it was on Tuesday. Our usual practice night, which is everybody's home all day. They're not doing
there's
anything.
nothing going on.
But guess what? You know Tuesday nights. Guess what? You're used to that feeling, at least, right? So I don't hear from any of them. Monday, I send a message Monday. We're going to practice with this guy on Tuesday at 7:30. Okay, great. No, I hear nothing from anybody other than one of the three. Tuesday night, like a half an hour before, I'd like, hey, does anybody need anything from me before this happens? One guy writes back, oh, blah, blah, blah. Should I be there, but I don't have any of my stuff with me. The other guy never responds. Half an hour later, he responds, oh, I can use Zoom, but blah, 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 whatever, right? I'm like, you motherfuckers. One of the three of you showing up for this. And this
You
guy
only had one out of
who's
three?
doing this out of the goodness of his fucking heart. Granted, he's
Oh, you're talking about for drums.
drums. I'm talking about drummers. Like, you guys can't fucking show up, or at least tell us a day
Wait,
before
was this
that
a
you're not
Kyle
coming.
class?
Yes,
Oh,
I was pissed.
Oh, yeah.
super pissed.
Yeah, because Kyle...
One, because it's embarrassing
Kyle's
to
time
me.
Kyle's time's worth a lot.
And
yeah.
Andrew,
Our
this is when all of this COVID stuff is still going on and you're pissed.
Yes, because don't tell me you can't fucking communicate and tell me you're not coming a day before.
You're right, but you don't know what's going on in people's head. I mean, Andy,
Dude, I do not care.
legitimately,
Communication takes 10 seconds,
Stop
Joe.
hitting the table. The mics are attached to the table.
10
Just clap
seconds,
your hands
Joe.
or
It
hit
takes
the bell.
10 fucking seconds to say,
I know,
on
I know.
Monday, I can't make it. Oh, I'm not going to bring my shit. I don't know what's going on. Bullshit, dude. That is bullshit to me. Because not only does this guy show up out of the goodness of his heart, he does it fucking free. For fucking free. And also, too, like, don't waste anybody's time. Just tell me you're not coming and we'll reschedule for next week. Don't tell me 20 minutes before when he's sitting on fucking Skype waiting for you guys to show up. That's bullshit. Like, what are you guys doing that's so important that you cannot communicate with me within 24 hours?
I don't think it's necessarily what they're doing. It's where they're at.
I do not
Kind
care,
of
man.
maybe emotionally where they're at, too, where they're at in their own head.
But that's a
'Cause there's
problem, man. That's emotional strength. And that's pussy bullshit, man.
All right,
Like,
Sco,
you
I realize...
cannot tell me that you're not
Sco.
coming. That's bullshit.
Sco.
Simmer down.
Oh, I'm fucking pissed.
No, wait. Because here's what I need you to understand.
All right.
I need you to understand that we did this wrong. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are we recording now? All right, so this is what happened, right? So I went through the process of setting up a drum practice with our drum instructor, who is from out of state, who's a very excellent
It's going to be
drummer.
our first ever live.
He's the most excellent
Dubstep
drummer.
ramp.
Yeah. So give me like 10 seconds. And so I went through the process of setting him up and like, hey guys, we're going to have this practice on 7:30 on Tuesday. I gave them this warning on Monday. And guess what fucking happened? On fucking Tuesday, 20 minutes before it all happened, I'm like, I don't have my stuff with me. I'm at this place. I don't have any drumsticks. What the fuck world are you living in that you don't have drumsticks with you at every given time of your life?
Where there's a pandemic going on.
Pandemic. Joe, we're all stuck at home, dude. Guess what you're not? Guess what you have? I bet Joe Brady's got drumsticks at his fucking house right now. I've got drumsticks. I don't know about you, Josh. You probably do
do
too.
have drumsticks.
You got malice right over fucking there. You could show up. And where's this third guy who never communicates until a half an hour after this happens? Hey, oh, by the way, I do have Zoom.
Hey-o.
Like, hey, why didn't you tell us within the last 24 hours that, oh, yes, I'm working on saving my company? That's understandable, man. Just fucking communicate with the rest of us so we don't waste this third guy's time who's giving it because he's got nothing else to do with himself. Oh, that's fair. Okay. We'll just fuck with him. That's fair.
Because back to Josh's point, am I healthy? Do I have a job? I have to take care of my hierarchy of needs, and guess what? Pipe band's not at the top.
That's bullshit.
And that's okay. No,
communicating
you say it's bullshit, but it's okay.
Pipe band not being a priority is okay. Not communicating that is not okay. When you had 24 hours to tell us that you weren't going to be there.
I like this comment. Smoke a J, dude.
It's fair.
Joe, come on, man. Like, communication is not that difficult these days.
I don't disagree, but communication is two-way, right? And sometimes you sending an email or sending a Facebook message isn't the way to do it.
I sent a fucking band app message.
No,
I sent a text
don't.
message.
I mean,
Band
at the end
app,
of the day,
text,
sometimes,
email.
Don't tell me you don't know
people.
how to use a fucking text message in these day and age, Joe. Come on,
Sometimes you gotta
man.
call people. You know that.
Call people?
Oh,
Call
wow.
people?
God forbid I gotta talk to a human being. Oh my God. Talk to a person.
Oh my god.
So guys, while I've got you both wound, tighter than a tick's asshole.
I'm not wound.
Here's my question.
I gotta find my pen.
What the fuck is going on with Poutine?
Fucking Poutine.
Hey, it's Friday night poutine night at the Brady house.
Listen, man.
Joe, tell us about your perfect poutine.
Well, I have a perfect poutine, but how about I digress and tell you about a poutine that not went wrong, but I just wanted to do something different.
Okay.
And that was macaroni and poutine.
Like macaroni cheese, like Kraft?
Yeah, so it was macaroni and cheese. The macaroni was the French fries, and I used the poutine sauce and the cheese curds.
So poutine sauce. By poutine sauce, you mean shite brown gravy?
Oh no, I have a band member from Quebec that smuggles down cans of poutine sauce.
Interesting. It literally says poutine sauce on the label.
Well, I mean it's a name brand. I don't want to.
What is poutine sauce? I actually don't know. Like, I don't know what the brown gravy is. Is it like typical American brown gravy?
Yeah,
or no?
it's like turkey drippings and moose jizz.
But much tastier than the turkey dressings. I'm not going to comment on the moose jizz there, Andy. Don't you know?
I didn't say that. Josh said that.
Oh, Josh, sorry. I confuse you two sometimes. You look so much alike. Pulled pork and Canadian and poutine. Yeah, I've had pulled pork and poutine. But just tonight, got some French fries from what is that? Where you could buy their frozen French fries. The
Ore-Ida?
No, it's a chain store. Not Five
I
Guys.
have no idea.
Five
Shake
Guys?
Shack.
Shake Shack.
Fries.
Oh,
So
they
I
sell
got
French
some
fries?
Shake Shack fries and gonna put some poutine sauce on there, and it's different than just brown gravy though. I can't explain it.
It's definitely different. I've had it. I had it once when I was in Montreal back in the fall, and everybody talked about how great poutine is.
Is that like
It's
is that a
essentially
euphemism?
Fries, gravy, and curds. But the thing they talk
Is
about
eating poutine a sex euphemism in Canada? Is that
it could be.
Is that something I need to know?
It wasn't in this case, but it was literally eating fries with brown gravy and cheese, essentially, which is not unheard of. Except that it's very important that the curds are. How do they describe it? Let me think. Like you gotta chew on the curds. It's squeaky cheese. That's it. Squeaky cheese. That's what it is. It's so important that it's squeaky cheese. So
that just sounds like you're chewing
and that's hard. It's
plastic
hard to
cheese.
get good cheese curds here in North Carolina. So I mean, I have some friends in Minnesota that don't you know? I wish you'd send me some cheese curds, Laura.
Don't you know?
But,
it's remarkable. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought I was gonna hate it, and I was like, all right, it's okay. But I mean, chips and curry sauce are way better. Or plain old
curry.
fucking French fries. Or
I still never got, while we were in Glasgow, I never got the chips and haggis with curry. Good. And that's what I was going for. Couldn't find the place. Granted, the Anthony Bourdain episode where I saw it was like 4 years old at that point, so it may not still
exist.
be there. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Poutine's okay. It's not my thing.
So real quick, before we get into, interacting with the audience a little bit, answering some questions, mind you, everyone who's in the chat, we're going to answer your questions here after the show. Fusco, any final thoughts on essentially That's Us Fucked for Another Year Part 2? Everything's canceled.
I would just like to say that now is the goodest time as ever to support the North Carolina and Waken District January 1st pipe contest that they organized 3 years ago that they haven't had since. Because there might be nothing else to do. Joe, this might be the time for your indoor contest to be the greatest thing of all time. What do you think? That's my thoughts.
Fair enough.
So, Joe, what are your thoughts on love and pipe bands in the time of the coronavirus?
This is an interesting time for sure that there's so much uncertainty. We don't know. And you know what? It's okay not to know. But you need to keep things as normal as possible. You need to do it for your members. And is it going to work for all of them? No. So, Andy, don't get mad. I mean, if someone doesn't respond, pick up a phone and call them. Talk to them. They're a human being. And odds are they're probably not in the right place emotionally. And again, that's okay.
God damn it,
And
Joe!
at
You just made more work for me. He's going to outsource that.
Way more fucking
Sorry,
work,
it's
man.
okay, but I mean, at the end of it, you said it already that we're probably going to lose people. Bands are probably going to lose people because they're going to lose their jobs. They're going to have to move. Things are going to change, and that's okay. We don't know how they're going to change. We just can only know how we're going to react to that change. And we
I know.
have to be
I know.
positive.
Thanks to the COVID-19, we're going to get Angel back.
Well,
Thank
I mean,
God.
Angel had intended to come back after the tattoo, right? And unfortunately, now the tattoo is going to take place in 2021, so we're going to hit the reset button.
In an
on it.
Angel kind of way. Yeah.
I was looking forward to Angel being my bunkie buddy.
Oh, you would have had a great time. Angel is a great guy. There's no doubt. He's fantastic, but he's also a colossal flake.
We'd have done okay.
He
And
is
you know what?
hysterical.
We will
I
do
love
okay.
him.
So
we have the greatest
if
time.
we can get a Spirit of 76 band out in Kansas City or get them out in Dunedin, we're going to do something. We can do it. But everyone's still kind of planning. We have to assume as if and just proceed. In the words of Andrew Hoineke, we have to proceed as if, right? So
that's fair play. And Hoineke's in the chat right now. We're going to interact with some of the live stream chat folks here. So keep in mind that we're still broadcasting after we do a break.
Theoretically close.
So yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, man, Joe. It's all going to be kind of up in the air. Luckily, we're used to that, I feel like, as a community. I think pipers and drummers are used to preparing for one thing and getting another thing. They're used to preparing for a part-time musical hobby and having it dominate their life. They're used to preparing for playing a nice tune on a field and getting shit kicked by rain and mud.
As our friend described.
They're used to going out and playing gigs on St. Patrick's Day and coming home with herpaganosyphalates. So it's a very adaptable crew. That's the good news about our audience and the people who are in this community. We will survive.
We will.
Well, 75% of us.
Yeah.
But
some people are going to go by the
yeah.
wayside.
Sure. They're just going to quit.
The Emerald Society bands.
Oh, Jesus.
But I think that in the end, everyone's going to, I'm interested to see what happens with some of these events. I think that people are going to kind of maybe develop a higher level of respect for the things that they typically would travel to and play at. They're going to be more grateful, I suppose, for that once-a-week band practice after they miss it for a while.
I would like to think that would happen. Hey, I appreciate being here.
Yeah.
Great.
It could always be worse. I could be at home wiping my ass with the towels. And with that, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Chain Rip Podcast. We are going to stick around on the live stream to answer some questions real quick, but this is just the official ending of the audio recording.